Welcome to our YouTube channel. My name is Moduko Ibanji and we bring here
Rebecca Adeleke.
And we're talking about social media and Christianity. We have a whole lot of things to talk about. So I want you to relax, sit down and enjoy what we have to do. So we'll just be diving right into the questions. What is social media? What are the pros and cons of social media?
Alright, I'll first start by defining what social media is. A lot of people think that social media is just Facebook, IG, Twitter and the likes, but those are just kinds of social media. So social media can be defined as computer-based technologies that use web-based applications that can be accessed through any digital platform or any digital appliance that is used for the sharing of ideas, sharing of thoughts, connecting with people, and so many things like that. The history of social media states that people had the need to connect with others, especially from around the globe. So social media has made the world look like a global market. You connect with everyone, anywhere, any day, anytime. And statistics have it that about 3.8 billion people are using at least one type of social media platform. And it's speculated that by 2023, in the US alone, 259 million people will be using social media. And the highest age group is from 18 to 29. That's the young people, like Gen Z, basically. So social media is what people use to connect with each other. That's basically the history of social media.
Yeah, basically to define it all, social media is a means of sharing thoughts, ideas, waiting for responses, giving out information, passing out useful materials, and at the same time it can be good and it can be bad. So it has the positive effects and negative effects. So social media is helpful, social media is harmful. So she defined it all basically.
Thank you so much. So a follow-up question is, how has it impacted our lives during the COVID times, like COVID-19? How has social media influenced our lives? How has it, social media and smartphone changed Christianity?
It helped during the COVID because as we've seen, the pandemic caused us not to have physical contact, so we couldn't have service in church and all. But with the use of social media, the Zoom, the YouTube channel, there were so many ways to pass the sermon across, and still, even though the devil tried to restrict Christians, still the gospel was preached through social media. So it really helped during the pandemic. So yeah.
Okay, I also feel like social media, depending on the mindset of each individual and how you decide to use it, you can actually leverage on it. Like 2020, a lot of people were complaining, aside from the church part, a lot of people were complaining that it was a dead-end year and a lot of things like that. But still with that, people got lots of opportunities. Just like I said, social media is not restricted to Facebook and IG. There are places like LinkedIn, places where people have invested, businesses and everything like that. So it depends on how you choose to use it. It can be to your benefit or to your downfall. And then in terms of 2020 and we not being able to go to church, it helped us connect and it helped us stay aglow instead of our spiritual lives dwindling, because we couldn't connect with people physically, but we were able to catch up even online.
Yeah, I like the fact that my takeaway from what you said is that social media has been a wonderful platform during the COVID times and has helped us to stay awake and stay on the fire for the Lord. So my next question is, what are the spiritual implications of social media?
Okay, so I think the spiritual implication is that it's a no-brainer that we decline spiritually if we prioritize the social media before God, because anything you put before God is idolatry, as we we all know. So I feel the main reason why people go to social media is because they've lost identity, they've lost who they are, they've forgotten who they are. I mean, and if you know who you are and you know how God views you, you don't need to go to the social media every day. You know, like you will never prioritize the social media before God. So what we should know is that we decline spiritually once we prioritize it, because it's a form of idolatry and sin to God.
Also, I feel like he also mentioned the part of prioritizing. Yes, if you know what you have to do, you can't spend hours and hours on social media because you know that there's work that needs to be done. So you need to like set your priorities right. Start with what needs to be done, and then social media can always come at the backstage or later on. Yes.
Thank you very much for that wonderful advice. Now, for the next question is about addictions. I remember myself as an example. I've uninstalled my Instagram 1001 time, and I keep promising myself I won't go back to it. But honestly, I go back to it, and sometimes I think that my discipline is not enough. I try to keep myself busy, but at the end of the day, I try to. It's like a stress relief at the end of the day. So, what can we talk about? What can we say about these addictions, especially for youths that always like to go to social media? How can we deal with our addictions? How can we overcome addictions?
Okay, social media has this drawing effect. This is because the brain, whenever you view something or whenever something happens, neural pathways are being created. And then the brain is fashioned in a way that when you view something, you always have a hunger and thirst for something more that is newer. So that is what has led to addictions. So basically, many young people are addicted to social media because of what they see. And I just want to put up a disclaimer. Things don't really appear the way they are. People make you to see what they want you to see, and you never know what's going on behind. You keep following people's lives while your own life remains in a standstill. So basically, you're doing more harm to yourself. And I feel like it just has to do with discipline, and there are levels of discipline. There are people who can just tell themselves that I'm not doing this, and they snap into it. They just stop doing whatever. There are people whereby, there's a bit of pinching themselves here and there. And then there are people whereby, it's that bad. And I've learned, from a couple of mentors that if you have to actually delete it, just delete it. So that you can have what you can have, fresh air, until you get to the stage whereby you're not comfortable, because social media breeds jealousy, it makes you have a competitive spirit, and so many things like that. So it's more like putting yourself under check in order for you to be able to align.
Yeah. Social media is okay. Let me start with the what actually leads to the addiction. For example, fear of missing out. You always want to be updated. When they say, "Have you seen this video?" and I've seen it. At some point, I think when people tend to say, probably something just came out or something pop out, you haven't made the latest gist, and people will be like, "You're outdated" or something. Always wanting to be updated does not make you feel. And I think it's high time people realize that online versus reality are two different things. They are two different things, because what you see is just the highlight of the person's life. The person just giving you the best parts for you to know. You don't know what the person is going through. So many things lead to the addiction, but how to come out of it. Anything addictive is not easy. For you to be addicted to something, you are being consistent first. So for you to get out of it again, you have to be consistent. So it's like take some harsh decisions, like probably deleting it. But if it's not working, because 80% of people that have done that, it's not one way or the other. They find their way back in it. So I think it's just high time you tackle it, have a mapped out plan. Give yourself up, bring out a schedule for yourself, and prioritize it. I think if you're idle, you just find yourself all over the place. So try to create stuff. You can learn different things. If you know you can't run away from it, go to YouTube. You can learn skills. You can learn some other courses and all. So I just feel like channel the right energy. Don't use it in the negative as well.
Okay, can I quickly chip in? I feel like you can also put in the steps that you can actually take. Reward yourself. It's not like you just stay disconnected from the world, But like we've been saying, from if you follow our thoughts very well, it's prioritized. So probably after a long day's work, you just get there, you relax, but tell yourself it's an hour or two. And then if you feel like after that 2 hours you still can't come up, put an alarm on your phone. It will be ringing, time up, time up, time up, time up, get out. You know, that kind of a thing. Disciplined about it, and be consistent, like you mentioned. It takes consistency to be able to achieve something. Yeah.
Thank you so much. My takeaway from this, what you just said, is discipline, prioritize, and you give yourself a reward system. And I think that would perfectly work for every single youth out there. So my next question is it's just basically on social media and Christianity. For me, one of the things I fall back at when I'm bored or stressed is on social media, Instagram. So what are some of the implications? What are some of the implications, spiritual implications, especially for Nigeria, for people abroad? What are the spiritual implications of social media? How has it been our greatest companion, even when we are lonely and all of that? Do you get my question?
Yes. Well, for people that are mostly abroad, I feel like that's one of the major places you can actually connect with your family, because we are kind of like scattered. And since social media brings us together and makes it like a global village, we're able to like connect. But then it has to now, you now have to add some discipline to it. Like you said, you fall back to it. It can be used as a reward system after doing the day's work. But you find out that there are people who just wake up and the first point of contact is social media. Even for Christians, it's that bad. And I would say that I used to be like that. So
sorry to cut you short. I was trying to say, to have context, more context, because in Nigeria, every other African countries, we have to pay for data, but now it's quite cheap. And then we as Christians, sometimes we just first thing in the morning we go to like a picture, we go to do so many things on social media. So what are the spiritual implications of all of these things?
Okay, I'll just continue from the same line of thought. The spiritual implications are that we now prioritize social media even before God. Like I was trying to explain that I used to fall in the statistics whereby I just wake up and I pick up my phone. I'm on Facebooking away. Like probably if I wake up 5 a.m, because I do wake up 5 a.m, 6 a.m, 7 a.m, I'm on social media. I haven't prayed, I haven't read my Bible. That is more like taking social media as an idol, as another God beside God, and that has a grave effect. Yeah.
So the last question is social media and communication. How can we keep our communications pure? Let me just give you a bit of context. There are so many unwholesome thoughts, wholesome view, negativity everywhere. So how can we keep our communications very pure? And also, how can we use our social media to propagate the gospel? How can we take Jesus to our social media platforms?
I'll answer the first one.
Yeah.
Choose your mentors right.
Okay.
Like in social media, know who you're following. You know, you don't have to just follow everyone. So you won't start seeing what you don't want to see. You know, so you run as far, like run from it. So just know your mentors and choose your mentors right. Basically, for that first question.
All right. I'll just continue from where he stopped. It's just about choosing what you would like to view. It's your phone, it's your, it's your network. So it's just with the tap of your finger that you can select whatever it is. So, and for we Christians, the Bible says that we should guard our hearts. And what are the gateways to our hearts? It's our eyes, it's our ears, and the things that are happening in our environment. Yes, some things we cannot control, especially what's happening in our environment. But when it comes to social media, it's what we see and what we hear. So picking the right people, if you want your heart to be guarded, pick the people that will speak wholesome things to your heart. And then following the next question, I learned, I think late 2018, that every platform that I'm in is an opportunity to portray Christ to everyone. And I've recently had this motto that Jesus be glorified. So if whatever I'm doing does not bring glory to God, then I'm not doing. Even before posting, there are times that I'll have checks. I'll have to ask that, okay, I'm going to post this. Is it going to edify anybody, or it's going to pull someone down? And the moment I feel uneasy about it, I do not go ahead. So it's just about, checking what you're going to post, because as Christians, we don't have double lives. Whether I'm in the open, whether I'm in the secret, it's just me. Not unless I'm a hypocrite. That's just it. Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming. So it's been a wonderful time. And for our viewers out there, we hope you enjoyed this video. We've spoken about social media and Christianity. We've said that we should choose our role models, right? We have said that we talked about communication. We said we should keep our thoughts pure. We should choose what we listen to, what we see on social media. We also talked about identity. We talked about validation. We talked about discipline, consistency. I hope you do enjoy our video. I want to know your comments. We want you to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And let us have your thoughts on social media and Christianity. So we come your way the next time. Bye bye from us.
Bye.